Okay, so welcome to the fourth episode of my Python course, where we will be learning how to take user input in our program. Now, up till this point, our programs have all been sort of you run something and it's the computer doing all the talking. But now we're going to learn how to make our programs interactive by taking user input. So the way we take user input is with the input Python built-in function. Now, inside these brackets, we want to type in what is called a prompt, and think of this as the question you're giving the user that will prompt them to give input. So if you want the name of a user, the prompt may be something like enter your name. Notice how the prompt has to be a string. You can't put 8.9 or true as your prompt. Okay, cool. We have set up our prompt and written our input statement. Now let's try running it. Okay, so the prompt appears here in the console, and I guess we should type something. I'm just gonna type my name. Okay, cool, we've taken input. Now what? Well, this by itself is pretty useless. If we are taking input, then we should store it somewhere. I wonder where I can store data. That's right, variables. Those cool boxes that store data from last episode. So in order to store the user input in a variable, we would simply type the variable name. I'm going to call our variable name and assign a value to it with the equal sign. What value should we give it? Well, the value of the future user input. So we'll write the name equal to input enter your name. And then in the second line of the program, let's try printing the variable name. And let's run our program. Enter your name. I'm going to type that in. And it prints our name. Now that it's functional, let's make our code pretty. First of all, I don't like how there's no space between the colon and the input. So I'm going to change that by adding a space right here. Now let's try it. Okay, that's better, but what if I want the user to type their input on a whole new line? Well, then we will use \n, which will create a new line, meaning we can type our input right here on this new line. As you can see, it still works. Now let's try and check the data type of our name variable. So we'll do that with type and name. It's a string. All input that we take will by default be a string. Now we can convert our input data type to one of the other three using either int, float, or bool. Let's say we were asking the user for their age and we want to store it as an integer. So we would create our variable right here, I'll call it age, and we would set it equal to the user input, and we would make sure it's an integer by typing int, and then inside these brackets we would write our input statement, and inside those brackets of the input statement we will write our prompt. So then if we run this program and type something like 14, we can check the type of our age variable, and you can see it's an integer. Now this is cool, but we can break it. So how about when we're asked our age, we say banana, and we get an error because convert banana to an integer. So that's just something to keep in mind. We can also, of course, have two input statements in one program. So how about first we ask the user for their name, as we did before, and then we ask them for their age. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to show you a cool way to output this information. So if you want to print both the user's name and age in the same print statement, we can do that with print name, comma age. And then if we run this program, type name Joe 28, and it says Joe 28, the name followed by the age with a space in between signified by the comma in the print statement. Cool, but what if we wanted to say you are Joe and you are 28 years old? Well, this would work similarly, and we would do this by doing print you are. And since we don't know the name yet, we can't just type Joe because it won't work if they type something else for their name. So you are, comma, name, comma, and in quote marks, and you are, and we could say 28 years old, but that, of course, like the name, would not work for any other ages. So we're going to also have to use the age variable, and then this will say you are name, and you are age, and then we'll just add years old. as the age is just going to be a number. And let's try running it. Enter your name. I'm Joe, and I'm 58. You are Joe, and you're 58 years old. Amazing. A challenge I have for you guys is to make a program where you ask the user for their name and then ask them for their favorite food, and then print all that in the same way we've done here. Your output may be something like, you're James and your favorite food is pizza. Alright, thanks for watching this episode. Like the video if you liked, and comment any questions about this video or any video suggestions you may have. Alright, see you in the next one.